Labor in the Northern Territory has long relied on the support of Indigenous voters, but its decision to extend by a decade the Howard government's intervention into Aboriginal communities throws that into doubt. The emergency response was meant to boost the safety, health and education of Indigenous children, but $1 billion later there's evidence conditions in some communities have worsened, and at least one prominent Aboriginal leader is urging his people to abandon Labor and vote Green. Kerry Brewster has this exclusive report.
It was Darwin's largest Indigenous musical lineup in 20 years. With the crowd warmed up, Arnhem Land elder Reverend Janini Gondara OAM took the stage. Senior traditional lawman and a long-time minister and moderator for the Uniting Church, his speech was a dramatic, emotional call to arms.
Put your hand like this. Stand strong. Stand. This is our land. This is our land. We are the first people. We are being get rid of by the government. Government is a racist country. Last week, they passed a legislation that legislation saying that we are under their control. Jenny Macklin's going to always control us. I want all Aboriginal people to stand. I want us to fight.
The 68-year-old is a stalwart of the traditional community of Gapawiak and chairman of the Arnhem Land Progress Association, which operates a dozen stores in remote communities. Janini Gondara is known for his criticism of the Howard government's army-led intervention, but Labor's recent 10-year extension has him dumbfounded.
I just couldn't believe that the government would do this to us. I couldn't believe that the Australian country would, turn out to be an apartheid, a racist country in the world.
Let's fight the government. We fight the government. Don't vote for Labor government. Don't fight for CLP. Fight for Green. Fight for Independent. We want to fight. Fight and let us stand together. This government is racist. They are being racist. They are trying to get rid of us. They are killing us. They are stopping every freedom from us. They stand, look at our people are dying. They are suiciding. They are killing each other.
The intervention's alcohol bans, income management and takeover of land is, according to Reverend Gondara, a system of control far worse than under the old mission days.
There's more violence. There's more drinking. There's more things happening in the community because people are saying they don't like it.
Indigenous Affairs Minister Jenny Macklin was booed and heckled at last week's gala NAIDOC ball in Hobart. Reportedly a spontaneous show of disapproval of Labor's policies. But in a statement to Lateline, she said,
I am confident that the priorities we are addressing, getting kids to school every day, tackling alcohol abuse so communities are safer, and making sure there are jobs for Aboriginal people in communities, are the priorities shared by Aboriginal people in the Northern Territory.
The government says almost 80% of Aboriginal people living in remote communities feel safer and receive better levels of government services than they did 4 years ago. But questions remain whether the ongoing intervention known as Stronger Futures can reverse alarming trends. Since 2007, reported incidents of attempted suicide, self-harm and domestic violence have risen, as well as the number of police incidents involving alcohol. While healthcare services for children have improved, school attendance rates have dropped.
There's a very deep feeling of betrayal and dismay amongst the Aboriginal population, and that's related to them not really having any control now on what occurs to them and within their communities and within their own organisations.
Concert organiser Ilana Eldridge, herself a former Green, represents the Indigenous Larrakia people of Greater Darwin. And she's witnessed a flood of post-intervention refugees from remote communities into the comparatively dangerous streets of the capital. While she says Canberra's intentions may have been good, her organisation has recorded 39 deaths among homeless people over the past year.
the increased policing, while it may have had some good effects, I think has contributed to the level of influx of people fleeing the remote communities. And also we've got incredibly overcrowded prisons. So with a 40% increase in incarcerations, prisons that were already pushed to capacity are now just beyond the pale.
Here at the fiercely independent community of Pepperminati, not far from the notorious missionary township of Wadeye, traditional ceremonies are proudly maintained. But tribal leader Harold Wilson is bitterly disappointed the Labor government has extended the intervention. He says it's removed the community's long-standing power to successfully manage its own council, club and housing, leaving people disempowered and marginalised on their own land.
The ownership is not here anymore. A lot of the Indigenous people feel that they don't land after Arnhem Land, the Bark petition, Wayville walk-off, Tent Embassy. A lot of those people had struggled and fought and blood, sweat and tears for land rights. I just thought they've gone backward and a lot of people are dispossessed again.
The community says a promise to repair existing 25-year-old homes and build new ones was broken, and that only the exteriors of the existing houses received coats of paint. The government says the community's recent agreement to lease its land may enable further housing improvements. But this relatively peaceful community did get a police station.
I don't think it's warranted to have a police station on the community. Culturally, we've dealt with things and issues on the community. The cops, they're just booking people coming to the club for registration and lights busted and things like that. Go catch the real criminals.
The government says that's what it's doing, and it's the reason 3 police should be stationed in what's been identified as a high-needs community. Kerry Brewster, Lateline.
And the Minister, Jenny Macklin, was unavailable for an interview, but her full statement to Lateline about the effectiveness of the intervention will be posted on our website.